Alright, what's up everybody? I'm back doing Dino Sorcerers. I had a slight detour. I had to finish up my final page for Tarot Quest, and it ends up with this cartoon here, which I think is pretty fun, and some more magic item cards. And then I also, I don't know if you've, I think I've done a video on it. I also had to complete my zine. Or I say it's completed. It's still going to get colored, which is going to take some time, because I'm not doing the coloring. Alright, we're back in action. And this is with Rusty Nib on its own layer called ink. The idea here is, if you remember where we left off on page 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we had just introduced the characters, the Dino Sorcerers themselves. So now we're going to show what their powers are. His name is Kylor the Abjurer, and he has the power of force, like force fields, telekinesis. And he's an Ankylosaurus. So the words Kylor it has the word Kylo right there in the name. That's why I picked that name. And should probably, just while I'm doing this, let me find my reference image. This is the reference image. Just so we make sure that we're keeping the look consistent, you know, from panel to panel. Like, for example, he's got this collar thing, but I don't think the collar shows in this pose. And then the other thing is he's got this cape, but it's like a short, feathered cape. Oh, you know what I should have done? Let's go back. I should have done my panel borders. Let's do this real quick. Move this over here. Just gonna bump it up a little bit. So I feel like we're back on track with things. I'm actually a little bit ahead. I have not updated my spreadsheet lately. I should be approaching the 900 mark soon. I'll actually make some kind of announcement when I get close to that. For 900 pages since 2019. I'm counting towards 1,000. And you know, when I started in 2019, my pages weren't that good. But the more you do something, you know, if nothing else, you get a little bit more efficient. And you learn some things along the way. And we have more tools now than ever before. Free tools. And you also figure out what you no longer have to pay for. So there we go. Now we got some nice panel borders. Now in this case, I do think I'm going to have this guy pop out of the panel border on this side, because he's getting, you know, knocked out of the panel. Alright, here we go. while I've been working on this, somebody brought up, actually there's a Matt video, but we were discussing it in a chat group I'm in, about the Sonic the Hedgehog comics, which are kind of famous. Because of, I think his name is Ken Penderton. And I think the going thing is that everyone's mad at Ken Penderton because he basically sued the Archies, and that was the end of the comic. But I kind of side with Ken here on this one. It's the way that comic companies can make you do creative stuff, and then they own the comic, is they have this thing called work for hire. Everything you did was work for hire. And it's like a super expected part of the contract. Like, you kind of know that going in. Well, it's so built in and ingrained that over at Archie in the 90s, they didn't actually make him sign a work for hire contract. They just assumed he understood that was the deal. So he sued them. He said, I never signed a work for hire contract. And he won. Now, he doesn't own the copyright to Sonic the Hedgehog, or the trademark, or any of that stuff. But he does hold the copyright for his own comics, so it kind of puts them in a bind where they have to go find somebody else to go do it. And they had to pay him. If you just loved your Sonic Hedgehog comics, I can see how that would make you a little sad. The comics weren't getting made anymore. But I don't know if I blame them, really. Okay, now this is how we're doing this force effect. We're just going to do a circle, but it's a dash line. And I command the arcane power of force. I don't think that can interfere with it. I think we have to put it somewhere else. How about over here? I think that'll work right there. Anyway, where was I going with this? I think I definitely have a lot of influence from those Sonic comics. I had actually gotten some of them for the kids. They were a little after my time. I always liked the look of them. They had kind of like a funky look. Like the early Sonic comics were pretty trashy, but the kind of the later era ones were really cool. Anyway, if you remember this Ken Penderton, or even the non-Ken Penderton Sonic comics, or Knuckles. He's really known for Knuckles. The funny thing is, you know, his rep is all about Sonic, but what he really did was Knuckles. And not just Knuckles, he did a really complicated family tree of Knuckles where there's like 20 relatives, and they had time travel, so the relatives were all in the comic. Like, they were all there. Okay, we're going to erase this line and this line. I forget what my Sectorids look like. I might have to bring up another reference for them. Alright, so if you're playing along and you're wondering how you can be making comics too, I'm following kind of a pattern. I want to show you the pattern. When you're designing a team, think in terms of like the Fantastic Four. You need a strong guy, and you need, possibly a powerful guy, and possibly a smart character, and the Fantastic Four. We have it's in look under TV tropes for the look up Fantastic Four and different team dynamics. There's the power trio. There's different versions of this. Hothead, somebody who's really emotional. I mean, it's the same thing with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You have your hothead would be Raphael, your funny guy, Michelangelo, smart character, and the leader, right? That's just one dynamic. When you assign characters roles like this, you get a lot of good interplay between the personalities. Wonder if I should, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. We'll knock him right out of the panel. Okay, now if we do that, so this one right here. Remember, the sectoids have 4 arms. The 2 arms are claws on this side, and then they have kind of like manipulative arms, so they can hold guns. And the only reason they were able to conquer the avians of Avianth is because they're bird people and they have hollow bones. So we don't actually get to see on this page what happened to Selenial. He'll be on the next page. We also don't get to see what this character is able to do. This is our Dimetrodon character. He's the one who has the time powers. I originally was going to make a pun name for him, like Time Metrodon, but I didn't end up doing that. I think it's still a cool idea, but we decided against it. He is going to have like cosmic power. She's Silura the Enchantress, and you can see that what she uses is like hypnosis, beguiling power, mesmerization. So it's a good mix all around. Right. I will be back in class. Oops. I don't like how that too big. If I put it on another, here's a neat trick. Just throw it on another layer. And then you can move it around without hurting the other elements of the page. Or resize it if you have to. I'm like, where are you going to put this? Clang. It's got to be, what, like right there. And we can use our clang layer to do my action lines. Shoot. As he bumps this guy. And then further, let's get a bubbles layer going. The one place you really can't skimp I'm not liking it. Is speech bubbles. Take a look here. That's an awkward curve. There we go. Let's fix that one. I think I left too much room in there. And that's it. We could probably do some more hatching. We're going to do some texturing. Let's bring out some contrast. But in this particular page, luckily we've been going all out on putting in backgrounds and establishing shots. There's very little going on in the way of establishing shots because there's battles going on, so there's not much room for it, really. There's plenty of action, though. So... let's look at what one of these guys looks like. Import. What do I got? I think if I look... Let's see. There we go. This is what they look like. Oh yeah, I forgot these. They got these mandible things coming out in the front. So let's make sure we've added those in. See, that's how easy it is to forget. Oh, I put it in the bubbles layer. That was dumb. We'll have to fix that. So I kind of like my original version of it. I did some interesting distortions of pushing the eyes off to the side. Let's bring that back. Let's look at the rest of it. Oh, the other thing is there's spikes on these forelimbs. It's amazing how many details you forget. Alright. Like there. And as far as the rest of it goes, I think that's fine. We can just put in plenty of details. Let's go back to the bubbles layer. First of all, I know that there are some improperly placed lines from the bubbles layer, so let's go ahead and merge those back into ink layer where they belong. Then we've got a speech bubble for our bad guy. Whoops, that didn't work out. Oh, I see where the hole is. There it is. And that's that. Alright. We're going to continue working on this page, panel by panel. Doesn't take that long. Please like, follow, and subscribe. There will be more comics every day. Got these 3 panels to go. Alright, talk to you later.